Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be doing our warm-up and it's how many ways to make. So as you can see on the screen, there's how many ways to make, and we have a double-digit number right here, 56. So remember, we want to represent this number in any possible way we can, whether I'll leave it up to you. So think about how we can represent 56. So I'm going to give our teachers a little bit of think time, and boys and girls and friends at home, just pause the video if you need more think time and you're not ready yet, and then play again when you're ready to continue. Our teachers are really working hard to make sure that you have the best representation of 56. All right, Ms. Rosales, can you start today?
Sure. So I did it 3 ways here.
Oh, wow, okay.
Ooh.
So I see the first thing that I see are the tens and the ones. So can you tell us about what you did there?
So I looked at my number and thought about my place value, and the 6 is in the ones categories, and the 5 is in the tens category. So then I started with the largest value, which is the tens, and I did 5 tens here, and then I went back and did 6 ones.
Beautiful. So we have 5 tens and 6 ones. One. Oh, and you wrote it vertically. Your 5s vertically. Let's make sure I have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, beautiful. So that was one of your strategies, and you represented it visually using the tens blocks, or the 10 rods, and the 1 units, right? The units, which are ones place. And can I see your other strategy? You had two other strategies. Can we share those? So you
Sure.
also did, I see a number line and a number sentence. So I see I see addition on your number sentence and also subtraction using your number line. Which one do you want to share with us?
So can I do the subtraction one?
Sure.
So I did the number line and I looked at my 56 and thought to myself, well, what is the closest benchmark number? And when I think about benchmark numbers, I think about tens and fives. So I wanted to show 60 because that would be the next benchmark number higher. And so I went from 60 and I bunny hopped backwards by 1 to get to my 56. So I had to do 1 bunny hop, 2, 3, 4, or we can call it skip counting, counting down to 56.
One.
So my sentence says 60 minus 4 equals 56.
Beautiful.
I love how you use your number line to help you write an equation. I didn't even think about that.
I know. So we have here, and then we have, you went back 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you got 56.
Mm-hmm.
And did you add the numbers for the other parts of the number line, or did you leave them blank?
I had left them blank initially, and then I wanted to label, so I put them 1, and then I had to remember, oh, well, was I adding or was I subtracting? And so I was subtracting, so I remembered I had to indicate them by a subtraction sentence.
All right. Okay, by the subtraction sentence. Thank you, Ms. Rosales. Ms. T, what strategy do you have to represent 56 today?
I used a number line too, but I used it a little differently than Ms. Rosales. I knew that 56 was probably going to be in between 50 and 60. So I just counted the lines in between 50 to 60 to get 56. But it took me a while because when I first did my number line, I made it where all the lines were kind of like not equal. And I was like, oh, that's not going to be an accurate mathematician. So I redid it and I made it so that most of the lines, because the space should be equal in between to get to 56.
And that's a really difficult thing to try to do because it takes a lot of planning, right? A lot of planning when you do a number line. So you really need to think about your values and where they go. If they're a number that's smaller, you have to compare the values. So you had 50 and 60 and you knew that 54 or 56 would be somewhere in the middle of those two numbers.
Yeah. And then, so I just counted the tally marks. So there's 50, 51, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 56, 57, 58, 59, 60.
55, 56, 7, 8, 59. Oh, see, I kind of messed it up. They're a little bit smaller here.
That's still pretty good though.
51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56. And then here is your 56. And you represented it on the number line. Beautiful. So let's try subtraction one more time. Can both of you write a subtraction sentence that represents 56?
Got it.
Because that's what we're talking about this week is subtraction. And we really want to see if we can use 56 in a subtraction number sentence. All right, Ms. Rosales is ready. All right, Ms. Rosales, can you share with us your second subtraction sentence? Ooh, okay.
So I started off with something I knew, and then I wanted to work with a friendly number or a benchmark number, and I decided to work with a 10 again. And this time I added 10 more and I got the sum to be 66. Now, I know that addition sentences can also be converted into subtraction sentences. So my sum can now become my minuend 66 minus my subtrahend 10, which gives me back my difference of 56.
Oh, wow. Those are some big vocabulary words you're using, Ms. Rosales. Can you define what subtrahend is?
So the minuend is the first number that you use in a subtraction sentence. It's just where the place is. And the subtrahend is what you are subtracting away from that number.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So we learned a new vocabulary word today. So what I found really interesting about your strategy, Ms. Rosales, is that you started with a number bond, but you did it in the opposite way. You composed a number versus decompose. So instead of having 66 and then figuring out the friendly numbers from 66, you started with 56 and then added a friendly number to compose a new number. So that's a great strategy. So you had 10, you had 56, and then you're like, oh, I want to add 10 more to make, and then that makes 66. So great strategy using the number bond and working backwards. We're so used to decomposing, but this time you composed. Great job. And Ms. T, did you want to share your strategy with us?
Yeah, so I just chose a random number, 76. And then I just subtracted, I did two, like the fact family. So I did 76 minus 20 equals 56, which made me think, oh, 76 minus 56 is 20. So I just did both ways.
Ooh, so 76 minus 56 equals 20. Oh, and how did you figure out that 76 minus 56 equals 20?
Because since the ones are the same, I know that's going to be 0 when I subtract them. And then so I would only have to subtract the 10s, which is 7 minus 5. So that means I have 2 10s left.
Ooh, so you kind of had, it was like 70 minus 50 equals 20. And then you knew that 6 minus 6 equals 0.
Yep.
So you also kind of decomposed in your head. Awesome. And then the second equation that you had there was?
Well, because I realized, oh, you asked me how to make 56, not how to make 20. So then I changed that equation to 76 minus 20 equals 50.
So you
Love
made the equation. So, sorry. So then 70 minus, 76 minus 20 equals 56. But you gave us two great equations, so thank you for that. So I love how we're thinking differently about these numbers, and we all have different ideas of how a number is represented, either on a number line using tens and one blocks, in subtraction problems or addition problems, and there's so much more we can add on. So boys and girls at home, I want to see what you came up with, and we're really excited just to see all the beautiful strategies that we can come up with, because there's so many more that we haven't even touched. So please upload a picture of a strategy that you use to make 56, and we'll see you in a bit.
Subscribe.